box is going to be length times width times height, or just length cubed, because in this case it's a cube. So 4/3 pi radius is 40 cubed. The length of one side of my box is 80. Does anybody have a formula sheet, volume sphere, 4/3 pi r cubed? Just want to double check that for me. I'm just going off the top of my head. 4/3 pi r cubed. Let's do it in a calculator. 4 divided by 3 times pi times 40 cubed. Is a big number, which makes sense, I suppose. So this is 268,082. The box is just going to be 80 cubed. And 80 cubed is 512,000. So these are centimeters cubed. What is the volume of the empty space between the sphere and the cube? So all I'm going to do is take the volume of the box, and I'm going to subtract the volume of the sphere. And that should give me the empty space. So this 512,000, I'm going to subtract 268,082, and I end up with 243,918 as the empty space. If you put brackets around the R, it becomes a rainbow. Yeah, you have all these little smileys you can use in chat, and they all have little shorthands that you can see right down in the bottom here. When I hover over them, they all show up. So if you're wanting to put in like a smiley face, or like no is N with a bracket, there you go. Alex got the rainbows all figured out. I have 3 minutes. There was a couple more questions that showed up here. 12 to the negative 7 over 42 to the positive 3. 12 to the negative 7, 42 to the positive 3. All right, this is as good of a question as any. So 12 to the negative 7, to make it positive, I'm going to move it to the bottom. So all that's going to be left on top is going to be just a 1. Because, again, if I wrote it a different way, if I went 12 to the negative 7 over 1 times 1 over 42 to the power of 3, and then I flipped this guy, so I went 1 over 12 to the 7 times 1 over 42 to the 3. All I have on top is the 1, and then the order of multiplication on the bottom doesn't matter. So 12 to the 7 times 42 to the 3, something like that. That's how we flip it. So we only need to flip the thing that's getting the negative exponent. So in this case, it's just the 12 to the exponent 7. We don't have to flip the whole thing because this 42 to the power of 3 on the bottom has a positive exponent. I guess where you might be getting confused there, Taylor, is that we need to deal with sort of each thing with its exponent separately. So the 42 didn't have the exponent of 7. The 42 had the exponent of 3. So we don't want to give it a 7 when we're only saying 42 to the power of 3. The 7 is dealing with just the 12. So if I have the negative 7, I just move whatever it was to the bottom, and that becomes a positive. So if the positive exponent's on the top, yeah, if it's positive, it stays where it is. So the 42 was on the bottom with a positive exponent. It stays the same. Another way to think of it, if I had like 2 to the negative 2, 3 to the power of 2, x to the power of 4 over, I don't know, 3 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of negative 2, x to the negative 2. So which ones am I moving? Well, this has a negative exponent, so I'm going to move it to the bottom. And this had a negative exponent, so this whole thing is going to move to the top. And this had a negative exponent, so it's all going to go to the top as well. So this 3 squared is going to stay on the top. And my 3 squared down here is going to stay on the bottom, where it was. This 2 to the power of negative 2, I'm going to move to the bottom. So it's 2 to the power of positive 2 now. This 2 to the power of negative 2 on the bottom is going to go to the top and become 2 to the positive 2. I had this x to the 4, which was positive up top, and then this x to the negative 2 is now going to become a positive 2 on the top. And then we can simplify it. We say, okay, 3 to the 2 cancels with 3 to the 2, 2 to the 2 cancels 2 to the 2, and I end up with x to the 6, adding my exponents. So that's kind of the next step, or simplifying that sort of question. Hopefully that helps. What if it says simplify completely? So that's just kind of through that little bit. That's kind of it for today. I'm glad we got through some of those questions. If you have more questions, I'll be happy to answer them next day. I would like to get a little bit of Unit 4 stuff done. So you can bring those with you next day. There's a few people coming in today at 1 to do some math with me. If you want to come in, be good. Taylor, you're going to have to remember that for next day because we've run out of time for today. So any other questions you guys have next day, I'd be happy to answer them. But for now, we're going to sign off. So we will see you guys later and have a good afternoon.